The Business Software Alliance, known as the BSA, is a not-for-profit trade association. Its members include Autodesk, Adobe, Symantec, Microsoft, and some other companies such as Monotype. The BSA has three purposes. We educate our customers to ensure that they use only licensed software. We enforce against companies who refuse to be legalized. And lastly, we lobby governments in order to change the climate or the perception or the environment with regard to laws governing intellectual property. Over 27% of the software currently utilized in the United Kingdom is illegal. That creates an impact of over £1 billion UK to the British software industry. That's lost revenue. This is a significant loss not only to the United Kingdom economy, but also to the global economy. It's just under $40 billion loss. Your biggest risk is losing your data. Your data costs money, you depend on it, and most probably it belongs to a customer of yours. So imagine if that was lost because you were using illegal software or substandard software. Imagine that you had viruses or spyware that came along because you really don't know the source of where you got that software from. And that would impact your organization. You'd have downtime, people would not be able to do their jobs, there would be frustration. And that would lead to, of course, a loss. It's hitting your bottom line. We all work very hard to try and have a profitable company with motivated employees. But the most important part is that you wouldn't be able to get technical support and updates when you need it, and patches. And most of the listeners would agree that software requires to be maintained. It's a constant process. You don't buy it and leave it alone. So if that facility were to be taken away, so you're actually just working on a version of a software that you've downloaded that is X months old or X years old, yet your business is moving forward, your customers are moving forward, your needs are changing every day. So you've got an aspect of your business that's just locked solid in a time warp. Imagine if your staff find out that you condone a behavior that is not only unethical, but it's also illegal. How would they feel about that? Imagine if your customers find out that you use illegal software for which you charge them the normal market rates. You don't give them a discount for doing that work, especially if you're a creative organization. How happy are your customers going to feel about that? And it's really the risk to your reputation. I always say to any SME or any company director, please evaluate it. You may be saving some pounds today, but imagine if you were to be found out, what would the impact of that be to your total business? Well, one of the first starts perhaps is to count your computers on your premises. Know exactly how many computers are being used and by who. Then see what software is installed against each PC. Then go through your archives and see how many licenses you have. You may find that you haven't got that many licenses, or you have far more licenses than you actually have installed, because you just contracted, or you sold a part of your organization off, or you did a merger with somebody else and acquired some licenses. And quite often we find that customers are surprised at times and say, oh wow, we didn't realize we have those licenses lying around, and we could have easily upgraded to the latest version, yet we've gone out and bought the latest version. So that also helps them to save not only their assets, but manage them better and save some money. Well, we have developments currently available. A number of BSA member softwares have built-in activation or license management that allow companies to manage their licenses with a great deal of accuracy, if only the company chooses to use that, or goes to a SAM partner, software asset management partner, like Investors in Software, and say, please could you do an audit for us? Tell us if we're under-licensed or over-licensed, and there are times that companies are over-licensed, and then put in place a process and a system that's consistent with managing their licenses on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis. You need to get a company-wide buy-in. People within the organization, starting from the managing director, going to the people that use your software on a day-to-day basis, need to understand this is what the company has decreed or mandated, and they need to support it. Furthermore, you need to appoint a SAM manager. This person most probably will be in charge of your IT as well, but that person needs to be empowered to put together some processes, policies and procedures, and ensures that they consistently adhere to. And lastly, the company needs to see a benefit in doing all of that. And the best way to do that is to start a before and after situation and see, have we saved money? Are we planning better for our software? And more importantly, are we ensuring that all the software that we use in this organization is licensed? The first point is ask for help. It's unlikely that you'll find the solution within your own organization. There are a number of places where we would recommend that you'd go and look for that help. The first is go back to your PC reseller or your vendor, or approach one of the members of the BSA and say, we use your software, we have a problem, how do we reconcile the licenses? Alternatively, you can go to a commercial organization like Investors in Software, and they can provide you with that information, or they would come along and help you design a SAM or a software asset management policy that would enable you to see what is the size of the problem. Try the BSA website, www.bsa.org. That will list you a number of other areas which you can look at, like Just Ask Sam. You'll get helpful tips. But most importantly, don't worry. Don't think you're alone. The BSA is here to help you and work with you to ensure that you have an organization that uses compliant software.